You know, when we pitched this idea, you said that you might pick a match which makes you feel horny. I'm looking at that list and I'm going, if any of them matches make you feel horny, I'm scared.
Well, I can confirm that no matches I chose for this particular program will make me horny. So, now, there are some people in our audience that will get horny over some of these, and that's totally fine. No kink shaming here.
No, we do not judge if you like that type of stuff. You like that type of stuff, but just keep it off certain places. So anyway, we're talking about emotions in matches. So what we mean by that is we picked 10 matches from like UK and pretty much all the way around the world. And it's made us feel like certain emotions. Some of these matches might make us feel more than one emotion, but I'm excited to talk about some of these because there's some great ones. And there's even 3 from the UK. So enough rambling on. We know the rules now. We've been here long enough. Roll the intro. And welcome to another edition of the Magic of Wrestling podcast. I'm, of course, one half of the host, Liam Wakeland.
And I'm the American half of the equation. You can just call me Mr. Saturday Night right here on the AFW network because I'm all over the place. And I'll be back a little later as well. I'm the effing expert, Mr. Isaacs.
Now, of course, Mr. Isaacs, obviously last week was a little bit of a weird one because I was at a wrestling show. I did pre-record some Control Your Narrative, which I do regret doing because that was just a terrible watch, by the way. But good, man, it's been obviously a while since we last spoke.
Dude, it's been absolutely crazy. The kids have been sick, and then after they started getting better, I got sick, and I dealt with that shit this week. And man, it's been a really tough 3 weeks for me. So I'm hoping moving forward things are a little bit better.
Absolutely. Now is everybody at the family all well and stuff like that?
Yeah, everybody's recovering and doing better now, so that's good. I mean, my daughter was so sick she didn't eat for an entire week. So, but now she's eating everything in sight, so we're good.
Is that the sign that you know that obviously your daughter's really well when they just start literally just eating so much stuff?
Yeah, well, when you start eating a lot, you know you're recovering at that point.
Absolutely. So I imagine you've not done any martial arts stuff then?
I got one session in on Sunday before I got sick. So it was a no-gi class, and I went to that, and I'm doing pretty well. I'm trying to establish a rubber guard game if anybody's familiar with jiu-jitsu at all, and I'm doing pretty well with it. So it was unfortunate that I didn't get to go any more than just Sunday, but hopefully next week I could do a little more. I plan on going tomorrow afternoon and try to get back in my regular routine.
Absolutely, of course. And funny stories from me when obviously I was at the wrestling show last week is obviously I like to record stuff and I posted one on my Instagram and one of the guys posted it saying, "We didn't know you was there." And I sat and thought about it going, I am the 6'4" guy sat down. How can you not see me?
Just look for the giant ginger man in the crowd.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's all you got to do, man. You go to a British crowd, you see like an 8-foot ginger sitting there. It's our man, the magician. Go up and say hello.
Of course. But do you know what? It was still obviously a fun time. Do you know what I mean? Going to see you guys. Obviously, we spoke obviously on the show and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's been absolutely obviously a thing. Great to obviously have you back as always. But we've got somebody backstage. I know obviously he's been dying to come on the show for quite a while. Let's have a catch up with him. Mr. Caleb, how are we doing?
What's up, Caleb? Awesome. What's on your mind today, my man?
I got my wrestler of the week.
Okay, cool. So for context here, Caleb was going to choose a wrestler of the week and discuss it. So I think he's going to be doing that with us here on our show for a little bit moving forward. So Caleb, we want to know who is your wrestler of the week, and I want you to give me an explanation as to why.
My wrestler of the week is Will Ospreay.
Woo!
All right. You made Liam very happy with that choice.
Because I know he's from UK, so I'll make him happy.
What do you like about Will?
He's a good man from UK. I've followed this career in New Day in AEW. He's an amazing non-talent, and I'm happy he's with Ricochet in AEW, and I'm happy for Torton to put the best UK wrestler, Will Ospreay, in AEW.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I've actually met Will as well. He's an absolute a phenomenal guy. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And do you think he's going to win his match? I think it's tonight, All Out.
Yeah, against Pac.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to win?
I feel in AFW lead, I am going to get Will Ospreay will win tonight.
What do you think, Mr. Isaacs?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ospreay as well. I mean, they're not gonna put Pac over Ospreay at this point. Ospreay is like the hot ticket item. He's the guy. Like he's probably whenever Danielson's run ends, you know, it's gonna be very close to Ospreay's time as world champion. Caleb, what'd you think of the MJF match from All In? Did you get a chance to check that out?
Yes, I watched it on YouTube. Or the highlights was, it's really good. And did not mess with the demon. MDF. He started in AEW since 2019 with Twist Jericho and the Inter Circle. With Twist and MDF storyline was great. MDF is the most talented man in AEW.
I have to agree with that. Do you know
I would
what I mean?
agree with that as well. I think you're spot on with that, Caleb.
I did do. I was AEW since 7 years.
Yeah, the one thing I like about MGF as well, now Mr. Isaac, we spoke about this on the show many times, is he's got his character so down to a T. He's literally an asshole in the ring and outside the ring, and that says a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think we mentioned it on the show. Those podcasts he did over in the UK leading up to All In, it was just brilliant. It was all like talking shit about the UK and how great America is, and the line that stuck out for me is, "I come over here and the only thing you all have to look at is some big shitty clock." Of course, talking about Big Ben for anyone out there who's not culturally inclined.
I mean, when he said that, I'm like, I'm going through the thing going, actually, he's kind of right to a certain degree.
Y'all got to get you some better like tourist attractions over there than a big fucking clock, okay?
It's funny when it actually stops as well. Just saying.
I always think it's funny. I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, Liam, because I know you're a lot younger than I am. And Caleb, you probably haven't seen this either, but the movie European Vacation, a comedy movie from the 80s.
Oh, yeah, I watched that before.
I'm not.
Like, this family goes to the UK because they like win some tickets on a game show to like go over and visit Europe. So they go over to the UK and they drive to this like roundabout, this turnabout deal in traffic right in front of Big Ben, and they get stuck there. They just get stuck going around a circle because nobody will let them over in traffic. So every time they go around, the father's like, "Yeah, look over to the left. It's Big Ben." And then it shows like then all of a sudden it's nighttime, and he's like, Big Ben.
Hey.
Yeah, it's Big Ben again. And that they just get stuck in an infinite loop driving around seeing Big Ben. That's what that reminded me of. Yeah,
I definitely need to check that out. So, Caleb, I saw in the comments that you've been obviously catching up on SmackDown. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I hear about Roman Reigns, about this TV deal on the news. I'm really excited for SmackDown to be on USA next Friday.
Mr. Isaac, help me out there. Have I missed something here?
I kind of trailed off a little bit there. You were talking about it was the last SmackDown on Fox, right? Is that what you were talking about?
Yes, you're moving to USA next Friday.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because, like, Raw is leaving USA and going to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, well, we're taking Raw away from you guys, but here, take SmackDown. So now they're still going to be on USA, so they're still going to have that connection. And SmackDown is now going to be on USA, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Got a comment here from obviously GM Joe. Obviously, we'll talk about this, guys. Is can Cody please get away from the bloodline? It does feel like he's just kind of intertwined with that, for as long as I can remember. Do you know what I mean? It feels like it's just been. God, I've lost count how many times he's actually been with the bloodline.
Bro, it's been 2 years now. Ever since the first Roman Reigns match last year at Mania. Yeah, I mean, it's so stale with like Solo Sikoa being the leader, and like I know Reigns came back and then he got attacked by what's his name there, the new guy,
Jacob
Fatu. Yeah, the name eluded me there for a second, and of course he's probably gonna vanish for a while. I didn't watch SmackDown last night, so I don't know if was Reigns on SmackDown last night. I imagine he wasn't.
No, he's not.
Yeah. So he's going to disappear for a while again, probably till Survivor Series. And I'm not feeling it right now. I'm not feeling the Solo Sikoa bloodline. It's pretty dull, if I'm being honest. I love Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in that role. Get rid of Sikoa. I'd rather see that.
Absolutely. We've got a full house here today. We've got somebody else backstage. We haven't seen him for a few weeks. Mr. Haney, how we doing?
Mr. Haney.
Mr. Alex.
Hi, how you doing? Hi, Caleb. How are you doing?
I'm awesome.
What's up, my man? What's on your mind today?
A lot.
Well, you're the founder of the Society of the Forgotten. So, like, who is the Society of the Forgotten? First of all,
I don't know. I forgot.
Sorry, I saw where you were going with this straight away, and I can't interrupt. I do apologise.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Carry on, Amy.
Yeah, I forgot at the end what it was for.
So that's what you're the Society of.
Yes.
The Society of the Forgotten is the society of people that forgot what the society was about. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Logically, that makes sense. Liam's doing the mental addition in his head, but logically, it makes sense.
Unless you're like, okay, I got it. Dear. Alec, what you been up to, my man?
I was about to see Beetlejuice today.
Any good?
It was good fun. What I can say is it doesn't do the original any disservice at all. It's great fun. The CGI is terrible. The jokes are ridiculously bad. But was some of the green stuff is absolutely ridiculously. It's like the worst you've ever seen. But I think it being Beetlejuice and knowing what Tim Burton knows, it was all intentional and it was all genius. So it was great fun.
All right. It has been so long since I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
That I'd have to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
Because I probably haven't watched the original in 30 years.
Yeah.
It is a classic movie, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is great fun. It tries to hold up to some of the ethos of the sort of original movie where what was it with the sort of dreadful stop motion and things like that. It's great fun. It's great fun.
Did they have the guy with the tiny head and the huge body?
Yeah, Bob's back.
Ah, okay, good. That was the one I always liked.
Yeah.
Dear.
Bob's back.
Awesome. So, Caleb, one final thing before we let you go on your way. What's the plans for the rest of the day, my mate?
My favorite match?
No, what's your plans? What are you going once you've done from here? What are you going to be doing?
I wasn't on wrestling. I know football's back. I'm focused on NFL more. The Eagles and Chiefs won all the week. Also with Collusion and SmackDown, NXT, and Raw. Before SmackDown joined USA and Raw joined to Netflix. So they wait for that.
Oh, good stuff.
He's going to be really busy.
You're looking forward to the pay-per-view this weekend as well?
Yeah, I do not have access to buy it, but YouTube will have the highlights from all
definitely.
out, so I will watch it.
No, good stuff.
Awesome,
Cool, man.
Caleb,
and of course, sorry, I'm just going to say it. Of course, was it obviously I joined late. How's your training going?
My family's really good, Alice. spent time with them last Saturday. I was busy with them. So, NFL season is back, baby. NFL,
Yay!
baby.
Awesome. I
All
love
right,
this
Caleb.
catch up.
Yep.
Caleb, thank you for stopping by, mate. Enjoy the rest of the show and hopefully enjoy All Out.
I will. They do.
Have a good
And
one, my man.
hope your team wins.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
Bless him. Oh, dear.
GM Joe says that Texas is stomping Michigan 24-3 at halftime. Holy shit. Wow. And see, I don't want to see Texas be good anymore because Texas is now in the SEC. So my Kentucky's going to have to play them. So, the SEC keeps getting more powerful, which diminishes poor Kentucky, which, is kind of middle of the pack when it comes to football.
Absolutely.
Who are the favourites this year for the football?
I
Is
don't even know who number one is.
Yeah, is Tate expected to get a second Super Bowl ring this year?
Who is?
Taylor Swift.
No. Probably. Yeah. I mean, I was rooting
scratching my head
hard
then.
for GM Joe's Ravens to beat them the other night, and of course, Lamar Jackson had to throw a pass that looked like a high school quarterback fucking threw it. GM Joe, tell me what was going on there with Lamar Jackson, but yeah, they ended up blowing the game.
Yeah, it's like I said to it was a few Joe in the comments that says maybe they should actually try and kick the ball like real football for the change rather than throw it. It's just it's called football and they don't really do anything with their foot. They throw it. It's more like throw ball.
It's throw ball. Yeah, they should call it throw ball. That sounds like a catchy name.
Yep.
Joe says, let's not talk about it. I know, man. Lamar Jackson was supposed to save us from a Taylor Swift Super Bowl, and he failed to do it last year. And, I was so disappointed by that. I mean, Lamar Jackson, he's a Louisville guy, Louisville, Kentucky. So, I mean, technically Kentucky, even though Louisville's the mortal enemy of the Kentucky Wildcats, but come on, man, you got to come through for us.
I mean, to be fair, but Taylor Swift had an exceptional season last year in the NFL. She really took it by storm. But was it? And I mean, she just it's just been an absolute meteoric rise. So that was she's going to be hard to beat, but eventually somebody's going to have to. But was it? Knock her off her perch. Who knows? There was rumours that the Gallagher brothers might be sort of there to sort of help, but but apparently there's nobody willing to date one of them, because of their backgrounds. They've been divorced 3 times each, and what was it called? They're just a liability now, So I can't see them. But yeah, maybe someday will come along and.
Now, I got to know, is Oasis really big in the UK? Because, they were kind of sort of big on the alternative charts here in the US when Wonderwall was out, but then after that, they kind of just disappeared. But are they, more revered over there than they are over here?
It's a weird one, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It's an interesting one because Blur, for me, were always the better band, But was it? I did like Oasis songs, but but was it? They're Man City fans as well, so there's 115 reasons not to like them.
Hey.
But what was it? What was it? They probably are the biggest band to come out of the UK. But was it? Of the 90s. I mean, I know the Stone Roses were there at the beginning, late 80s, early 90s, and that's where they kick-started that whole scene in Manchester. There was some great bands that came out of Manchester.
Yep.
Yeah, Wonderwall is a great song for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And fans for years have been saying they wanted them back together, and just it came out of the blue that obviously they've announced the comeback tour. Fans are kicking off obviously at the pricing for the tickets and stuff. So that's a whole podcast in its own. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but I mean it was absolutely outrageous. Nobody could get any tickets because the entire Chelsea team bought all the allocation. That was
That's football, by the way, for anybody listening.
Tiffany says Oasis has more known songs that didn't disappear. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have got some great songs, and one of their songs is synonymous with one of the great British comedies as well, and that's The Royal Family. What was it?
I would say "Don't Look Back in Anger."
That was a
Yeah,
great
well,
song. Yeah.
Liam did look back in anger, and that's how him and Noel fell out. So
Champagne Supernova was a favorite
yeah,
of mine too.
the best. What was it? The best. What was it? The best thing. What was it? The best thing Liam's ever done was MTV Unplugged. What was it? He turned up. He was absolutely hammered. That was it. And he ended up. Liam, you know, but that's probably the story. So he ended up in the balcony not singing, and no. What was it? 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 No, ended up singing the whole set. But right at the end of it, what was it? He manages to make his way on the stage and thanks everybody for coming.
That's the Oasis for you guys. That is the Oasis. Oh dear. Right. Shall we get to the main event? Shall we do this?
Yeah.
There we go.
The main event.
Got me coin.
You got your fuck to give this week?
I have. Got me
Liam has
coin.
got his one fuck to give.
Yeah. So before we obviously get into the main event, I just want to turn the attention to this, obviously the Hot Tag Foundation thing, which obviously we have become supporter of. So for people watching this show, you may notice a little ribbon, which is below Mr. Isaacs now, but he's kind of covered it up. But anyway. Dear. So yeah, this is obviously a foundation that we've obviously, joined forces with, and it's about, promoting kindness and stuff like that in the UK. So they've got their little donation drive. Now, at the end of the show, we'll obviously do our QR code. You go check them out. But luckily, they managed to send us our little promotional video. We've added our own little music to it, then we'll talk about it after. So here we go.
You said I couldn't, but I'm standing tall. You doubted every move, but now I got it all. Rise up.
I love that song, by the way. I'm just saying.
Hell yeah, man.
Absolutely.
It's a
But yeah,
badass song. I dig it.
absolutely. So if you guys want to go check out the Hot Tag Foundation, you can do it by numerous ways. The QR code, which was just on screen shortly. The link tree's obviously got our link tree there. Show your support to the guys. They've been on the show, and do you know what? They're incredible people, and I just love exactly, what they're doing. Because Mr. Isaacs, one thing we spoke about, and we all agree on it, wrestling brings a lot of people together, regardless of obviously who they are.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, this is an entertainment medium that a lot of different groups of people, different types of people, different ethnicities, different personality types are attracted to. And, we're a very inclusive bunch. And it seems like whenever we do have squabbles of differences, it's differences of opinion and taste and not like differences of looks and backgrounds and culture. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you want sort of what was it? Maybe not get this, but at Clash of the Castle, just across from us, what was it? There was two lads sitting. One was in a Rangers top, and one was in a Celtic top. And they were what was it? And they were just singing their heart out to each other. What was it? It was just. It's cool to see. One of them was actually the guy that started the "You're Just a Shit" Kurt Angle to what was it? What was it? Gable? What was it? Not Gable. What's his name?
Chad Gable, you're right.
Chad Gable. Yeah. What was it called? And that's why I don't know if it made television, but yeah, there was a very loud "You're Just a Shit" Kurt Angle, which is actually not fair because he's actually a phenomenal wrestler. So, but that's where sort of wrestling is fun as well. You can what was it? You can go out and you can have some fun with it, and there's no animosity in the crowd. It's just what was it? You get good banter. Like all in. But I was screaming at the referee because I thought the referee was doing fast counts on MJF.
It probably was.
And the guy behind me was going, "No, he isn't. No, he isn't." I mean, I won't tell you what he did say because it was an exclusive. But
Okay.
no harm, no foul. You know, it's just part of the banter in the crowd.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely, guys.
I was expecting, Haney, I was expecting you to run in during the Bucks match and like hit one of them with a real non-gimmick chair.
Yeah, well, I thought about it. But, what was it? Yeah, that match was just too confusing anyway. So what was it? I just thought I'd give it a rest. You know. I mean, they came out. I mean, they lost their title. They came out as the Beatles, so obviously they came out as the two dead ones. You know, so.
Let's move on, please.
But was it John and George were out there? What was it? You know.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get us kicked off this chuffing network, you.
Where was Paul and Ringo at?
They would probably what was it? George and John would probably do a better job at holding the tag rope. You know, what was it called? Was it Paul and Ringo were what was it? Resting because they were at the Tay gig the night before, 2 nights before. So they couldn't make it because they were singing their wee hearts out. You know, they were shaking it off all night long. What was it? 2 nights before at Wembley, so that was why they weren't there.
Oh, dear.
All right, there you go.
Right then, Mr. Ryan, do you want to tell everybody the concept today for today's main event?
This is a concept that the magician came up with. It is matches that elicited a lot of emotion, whether it's positive or negative emotion. And we've got a list here of 10, and we're just going to kind of throw them out there and see what our thoughts are about it and the emotions that it made us feel and made the crowd at large feel.
Absolutely. I will point out as well, some of these matches made me feel more than one emotion. Being from the UK, we've put obviously 3 in the UK as well. 2 of the matches obviously are in the description, so fans can go check them out after. We could have played them, but unfortunately, due to copyright thing, we couldn't do that. But yeah, we've got 10 matches. Mr. Isaacs, you can kick us off.
All right. This one, I remember, this was one of my favorite matches at the time when this happened because I love the way the crowd acted during this match. And as soon as I flash this up on the screen, if you've seen the show, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It was John Cena versus Rob Van Dam at the original One Night Stand. This was an embodiment of non-WWE fans expressing very loudly their opinion of WWE style wrestling. This was the ECW crowd at this ECW reunion show where John Cena defended the WWE championship against Rob Van Dam, which he lost to Rob Van Dam with interference from Edge, and the crowd very loudly chanting, "Thank you, Edge." This was just, the emotion of this was fantastic. I mean, John Cena, the heel heat that he got was just like unparalleled. And you could tell by the look on his face, he was really thrown off by it. Like, I don't think he was expecting that kind of reaction. He did his spot where he threw the t-shirt out in the crowd and they kept throwing it back to him. Nobody wanted the souvenir of John Cena's t-shirt that he wore to the event. I mean, the emotion was just white hot of just rabid, hardcore ECW fans that are like, you know what? Fuck the WWE style. We like our old ECW style. And I thought the emotion was just fantastic for this match. What'd you guys think of it?
Any kick us off.
No, definitely that whole event was very volatile. You know, but rumor has, I mean, the ECW fans haven't been seen since. Rumor has it Vince at the end of it pepper sprayed them all at the end of it. You know, but after the cameras went off and says, "That's it. You've had your fun." You know. But was it? We're going to. But was it? Absolutely destroy the branding of ECW from that point, because everybody thought that was going to be the big revival of ECW, you know, as well, and it became a bit of a joke, you know. No, definitely. Just the way that whole evening, there's all interaction with JBL and things like that as well, you know. That was was very reminiscent of old school territory wrestling as well. You know, it had
Yeah.
that volatility to it. You know,
Yeah.
it was which sometimes you need. You know, what was it? Yeah, what was it? Just I think it was important that the ECW got their proper send off, which I think helped. What was it? WWE helped facilitate that point. What was it? Obviously, they were going to they brought it back and rebranded it a little bit, but I thought that would have been it was quite an awesome send off. You know, you do know there's a rumor that there might be an ECW show, but was it on Netflix? So there's a rumor going about that Heyman's working on it. That may actually have an ECW brand on Netflix, so it would be interesting. For me, it's not my type of wrestling. What was it? Ironically, the best matches in ECW for me were like your Malenkos and your Jerichos and things like that, and Eddie Guerrero and things like that. So, I was never a big fan of the extreme stuff, but that match it was. You felt at any moment the crowd were just going to absolutely come in and kill John Cena. You know?
Yeah.
You know.
And it's funny you mentioned that as well, because the one thing I always sticks out for me was that sign where it says, "If Cena wins, we riot." And the crowd, you can just feel the atmosphere watching that. And I think, like you said there, it was an absolute great match. You know what I mean? It's probably one of the best.
I agree. RVD should have won clean. They should have kept the Edge shit out of it, and RVD should have beat him clean. Yeah. And not much beats an ECW crowd in the Hammerstein. I know, man. ECW and the Hammerstein ballroom, that was just, it was chef's kiss. I mean, it was just great. Like the feel of that was just so old school and classic.
Yeah, okay.
And Tiffany has never seen this match. Sweetheart, you need to pull up Peacock as soon as this is over. You need to watch that match because it's fantastic.
It's on one of the games as well. I think you can play it back on one of the...
Not just the match, the whole event. Go watch that whole event, Tiffany. You'll be absolutely your mind will be blown at just how awesome that event is. It's probably one of the best pay-per-views that WWE has ever done.
I absolutely agree. Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome. Ooh, that just stole the show. Like, what a great match! And then Eddie and Ray, didn't they have a match on that was really good? If I'm not mistaken. I mean it's a damn good event. If you've never seen it, you really should. It's awesome.
And of course, if you want to, I mean, if you've got, I think it was not this year's, what was it, last year's WWE's, what was it, SmackDown game, 2K game that had it, or was it the year before? You can actually play that match, the RVD Cena. And
is it 24 it's on that?
I think it's in 23. I don't think it's 24. I think it was because this year's was WrestleMania's, wasn't it? It's one of them. I'll find out. But it's pretty cool to play through. You know, it's got all the quick time events and things like that. But pretty cool event.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything to add, guys, before we move on?
Yeah, let's not forget about the Blue Meanie. I mean,
it's 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Blue?
Was it this year's?
No, 25's this year's. They always bring it out the year before, don't they?
No, so it'll be 23 then. It'll be 23 then because 24 was out this year.
It's not 25 was out this year, I'm sure it is.
No, 25 comes out next March. Remember that it shifted. It used to be, but it's not. They
changed it. Yeah, because they used to come out in like November.
Yeah,
and they would have the next year, but now they come out in March and they're labeled this year.
It is 23. I stand corrected. Sorry, I'm used to the football game doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Joe actually says it's 23 now. I guess he's our fact checker when we're on the air. Like he likes to, he looks up the data. He always does that on the garage too. Shout out to Joe because that's a very valuable tool. He's like our young Jamie from Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I'm loving the prospect of. It's not off topic of TNA possibly being part of next year's game. Suppose again,
that would be really cool.
I've heard rumors that some of the wrestlers have been scanned. So. What was it? Imagine putting you in TNA in there. That would be awesome. You know?
I have 24, and I haven't played it too much yet, but I kind of played through it some. And although they don't use the name, they technically have All Japan in the game.
Yeah,
because they have an All Japan arena with like a logo that looks just like All Japan.
Yeah,
and it's like, that's interesting. So, like, when you do the career mode, you can wrestle in All Japan. They just don't label it All Japan.
some of the arena hacks are absolutely amazing that people are doing. They actually get took down, and there was a big protest. The community protested, and they've been put back up. But basically, somebody found a way of getting the ramp to right up against the ring. But was it sort of, and it looks like a New Japan, All Japan sort of arena. It's just awesome. You know, it's amazing what people do. But yeah. But I always like the sort of going through the matches with the quick time events, things like that. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Right then. So you mentioned TNA, and that's kind of the next one on my list. Now, this is what I felt discussed more so because it's two incredible talents, but one guy's got issues which came to the full front, and I'll just show you the image, and you probably know exactly what I'm referring to. Hardy versus Sting, TNA Victory Road 2011. Now, This match overall, I mean, I was watching TNA at the time, and I remember watching the match and Jeff coming out going, what the hell is going off here? You could just tell as a fan something's not quite right here. You obviously saw the X-Type thing, and I was so disappointed, more so as a fan. I mean, Mr. Isaacs, what did you reckon to this?
Yeah, the emotion this elicited in me was sadness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just so sad to see Jeff Hardy like that. And, coming out in the main event, like, apparently nobody had really seen him all day. And then he just came out fucked up and couldn't work. And Sting had to kind of just improvise and finish it. Bischoff came out and kind of helped, even though it wasn't even his role to do anything. But he told a story on his podcast that Dixie Carter wasn't even there.
No.
Like, she runs TNA and she literally wasn't even there. And there was nobody there with any power. Everybody was just looking at each other like, what are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And Bischoff was just like he was the producer of Impact, the TV show, but he didn't have anything to do with the pay-per-view other than just being like a character. And he's like, well, fuck it. If nobody else is going to do something, I guess I will.
Yeah.
And he went out and improvised something. But yeah, it was just a very, very bad thing. I hate this. Like, I wish Jeff Hardy would beat this demon once and for all and have at least one semi-decent singles run. Yeah. It's terrible, and it just elicits a lot of negative emotion of sadness. So.
But was it? It's hard. But was it? Obviously, addiction's hard. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. And I know that some people think this is controversial, but to me, Matt's an enabler in that situation, and I don't think it's it's not in a bad way because Matt just wants to keep doing stuff with his brother, you know. But was it? What was it? He just needs to let his brother be and let him do his music. But was it? Because every time he comes back into the fold in wrestling, he ends up. He gets himself sorted and clean, and then he ends up. But was it? But and that's just the terrible thing about addiction. It's not a slight on the person, you know. It's not a slight on Jeff. You know, we don't know what's going through his head or what was it or stuff like that sort of causes that because it doesn't sound like it's like pain relief. I think it's just, you know, he got himself into a sort of rut like some people do. Some people have just got that addictive personality, you know.
Yeah. And he seems like such a good dude too. Like,
yeah,
you always hear of like real positive fan interactions that people have had with him. Like, he doesn't seem like an asshole or anything. It's just it's just a personal thing he's got going on, just that he can't control.
But and it's the same with I mean, his music's not my sort of thing, and I mean, some people like they're online, they're mocking him, they're singing and saying that his singing's terrible and things like that. But he's songs aren't necessarily all about verse, chorus, verse. You know, he's writing poetry and he's writing stories and he's singing his heart out. You know, if you don't like it, don't go telling him, like, don't go just on his Twitter and just like slagging him off or just giving him abuse. Just don't listen to it.
Just say, "Oh, that's cool, man," and go on about your day. I mean,
but it's clear that he's got a passion for it and he loves it and he loves the music he's making. So, whether you like the music or not, you know, it's obviously an outlet that's allowing for creativity. You know, because. When you're at the top and one thing, you know, and then what was it? You're at the top at one thing, and then all of a sudden your career's winding down, and you're not that popular guy anymore, and your fan base is older, and they're not watching anymore, and things like that. It can be the impact it can have on your mental health. I don't want to get too deep about it because I've done a lot of research into it, but it's in football, even like rock concerts. Chris Cornell, as well. They go out and they perform in front of 20, 30,000 people, and then they go into a hotel room themselves. But was it an hour later? The mental exhaustion that causes, the euphoria to the downer, the natural downer is just terrible for your mental health, and there's studies into it now, and that's what we need to remember, that sometimes these people are, they make mistakes, I'm not a big fan of the DUI stuff. I'm very much against that sort of thing, but obviously, the main priority for Jeff is getting things, and I think Eric did him a big favour that day, and he was lucky to be in the ring with such a professional like Sting as well.
Yeah.
Because if that was another wrestler, there's wrestlers out there. I mean, can you remember? Can you think if that was Randy Orton back in the day? He would have been totally, he would have totally went in and smashed him about, What was it?
Or like Prime Randy Savage or somebody like that, Andre.
Yeah, exactly. They would have just absolutely. They would have buried him in the ring, So he was so fortunate they had two good people around about him. A lot of people. I know a lot of people haven't got a lot of good things to say about Eric Bischoff, but was it? That's one of the good things he's done. He's helped. But was it in that situation? He stepped up when nobody else was willing to.
He was the only adult in the room when nobody else wanted to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you could tell the absolute anger and Sting. But it was the man's like super cool. I'm never you could tell he was actually he wasn't a happy chap, shall we say?
Yeah.
Didn't he shout something to one of the fans shouted something when he went back on the ramp and he said, "I agree"? Was it something like,
"I agree"? This is bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were chanting, "This is bullshit," and he looked at he said, "I agree." Yeah.
So, anything to add, guys, before we move on?
Not for me, no.
No.
Sorry,
Okay.
I ranted.
No, it's fine. Absolutely, my mate. Mr. Isaacs, number 8.
All right, number 8. Oh yeah, this one elicited a lot of emotion, especially the last minute or two of the match, and it's the career-threatening match: Flair versus Shawn Michaels. And all I could think about when I think about this was that last segment of that last part of the match where Flair's crying, but he's still standing up with his fists in the air, like, I'm not going to give up. I'm going out on my shield. And HBK mouthing, I love you, and then hitting the sweet chin music and pinning him. And then they're both legitimately crying after the pin. And you can see Shawn whispering something in Rick's ear. Like, the emotion of that is just goosebumps inducing. Yeah. Like, you could tell this meant a whole hell of a lot to both of these guys. And I mean, that just the outpouring of emotion from the two wrestlers and then everybody in the crowd, and I'm probably everybody watching at home as well. It was just overwhelming. Very emotional moment. What did you guys think of this one?
I mean, for me, the last part of that match is probably one which is probably one of my favorite moments ever. It's like you said, it's just one of those things where he doesn't want to give up. Do you know what I mean? And Shawn, it's like Shawn's didn't want to do it, but he knew he had to do it. And I know we've heard that term, many a times. And I've got to be honest, I actually got emotional watching that as well. I still do when I watch it now.
It was like something from a movie. Like this is like something that you would have scripted into like a Hollywood film that was like nominated for an Oscar. Like it was that level of emotion.
Absolutely. Henny?
Yeah, to me, it was the perfect send-off. Obviously, we know what happened, but I think it was again. Some people can be quite hard on Rick, but I think it comes back to what I was talking about previously with the mental health issues and things like that. He just doesn't. He can't let it go. It was and what was it? And he's probably substituted that with a lot of alcohol since, because he can't let it go. That's what was it? It, it's probably a natural high that some of us would never ever well, most of us have never going to experience. You know, being in front of like that amount of people and performing. You know, so it's hard. You know, and obviously, what was it? We know what happened afterwards, but to me. It was a perfect send off. It was as you say, it was a beautiful ending to a movie. You know,
Yeah,
what was it?
absolutely.
You know, and you know, what was it? You can't take that away. It's probably one of the most important moments in wrestling. Is that moment right there? The significance of it, because Shawn was gone a few years later as well. You know, you
Mhm.
lost two great performers. You know, what was it? Within the space of a couple of years of each other. Because let's face it, he wasn't wrestling as much, but at that point, Flair was still putting out bangers. You know,
Yeah,
what was it? What was
Flair was
it?
good during this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
what
really
was it?
good during the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah, you know, what was it? It's me, Vince.
I bet on a winner. Woo! Yeah,
Woo!
the night after what was it, Survivor Series when when
Yeah,
WWE beat the Alliance.
yeah.
Okay, he owned Monday Night Raw or whatever for a while. Yeah.
Those were the good times. But yeah, I mean, it's probably one of, like I said, it's probably one of my top moments. Like I said, just that last section alone where you don't want to cry, but because it's so well told, you're just like, wow, this is great. And I think you both said it best. It was definitely like any movie.
Yeah, 100%. You couldn't have scripted it better than that as a
It,
Hollywood movie.
it wasn't even like even just an end of movie. It was an end of an era. It was the end. It was like part of your childhood was going away. You know, like two of the greatest doing it. You know, um, just so yeah, such a beautiful moment. And the emotion in it as well. The real emotion. I mean, they weren't fake tears. That was two men crying. You know, I mean, what was it? If you what was it? If you know watch like Flair do interviews and things like that, he's quite an emotional guy. You know, so
Very.
you know, so you can tell that it was a proper crying session done after that as well. And then the send off he got in the Raw the night after. You know, the bit with Taker and things like that. You know, what was it? Just you know, he was in tears. You know, it was just an emotional wreck. But it was you can't put that on. I don't care how good an actor you are. You can't put on that on, and that's how important wrestling is to Ric Flair. Regardless of all the other stuff, that's the thing I take away from that is they two nights and the emotion that he showed. You know, whether you love him or hate him, he loved the business. He loved wrestling. He loves wrestling. He still does.
He
You
had to
know.
go on a year or two later and wrestle in TNA.
Yeah.
We don't talk about those moments.
Yeah, but we got Flair versus Flair. We get Flair versus the Macho, the Nacho. Yeah, and then we got Fortune, didn't we? Which wasn't very good. Yeah, there was a lot of bad that came after that.
Yeah, Fortune,
then
because
there
they
was
couldn't
a run.
call themselves the Four Horsemen, but they wanted to do the Four.
Yeah.
Fortune Pro, but yet there were like two more extra people, so there were like 16 or something like that. I think
It was him, AJ Styles, wasn't Daniels part of Daniels? Christopher
Daniels,
Daniels?
was it about Rude at one point? Bobby Roode
Roode.
was one point, wasn't it?
Bobby Roode, yeah.
Yeah.
That was Fortune, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few in that, but
it was more unfortunate than Fortune.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yes, because what was it? AJ get rid of the cool gear, you know, and then all of a sudden he was there with the flare suits doing the woos and the it didn't work.
Oh dear, right. We've got quite a few more to go through, so we'll obviously move on to his next one. Now, this next one's obviously I did say I put some UK ones on, and this is Hannah Taylor versus Regina Rosendahl. Now, people may remember that I spoke about a wrestler who suffered a stroke. You remember that story?
Yeah, I do remember you telling me that.
Well, I can confirm that this person was Hannah Taylor, and this was a return match after this. Now,
wow.
So when I followed obviously the story pretty well, I just can't fathom, do you know what I mean, how much she had to go through. I mean, it's a stroke, goddammit, do you know what I mean? We know people who've gone through that. and
Yeah.
just their lives have completely changed. But to go from that to getting back into the ring and do what she loves best, it was like a proud dad watching that actual match, to be honest with you. But Mr. Ryan's, I mean, strokes, it's a big thing. Let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely. My great grandmother died from a stroke.
Oh
So,
wow!
I mean, it's like something that's kind of in my family, you know. Like it's a very serious thing that a lot of people don't recover from.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't recover from it. It can permanently mess you up for life.
Yep.
And to be able to go through a stroke and to be able to come back and physically perform, that's amazing. That's an amazing feat. So kudos to her for being able to do that.
Absolutely. Haney?
No, I can sort of relate to it. I mean, but was it my father's had a spinal stroke, so you know, the impact it has on their ability to do stuff it's hard, you know.
Yeah.
But was it anybody that comes back from any sort of illness like that, you know, I know there's a few wrestlers that come back from like cancers and things like that as well. I mean, it's cliched, but it's such an inspirational story, you know. But was it when they come back, you know, because it's so important to them to be back, you know, something that they love.
I just want to point out as well, by the way, she was only young as well, so it's still more fathom with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. But when you hear about stories like this, it's so hard. I mean, we've lost some greats. What was it, through cancer and things like that as well in the wrestling ring, you know, and what was it, and strokes and things like that, you know. So what was it? They weren't able to come back, you know. And I'm not like, obviously there's veterans it's happened to, but there's younger talent it's happened to as well, you know. Like terrible things can happen in the ring as well, you know. You know, they can cause these things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Of course. So if people obviously want to go check that match out, I have put a link in the description. Do you know what I mean? It's knowing the backstory and watching the match, it makes you feel that sort of, you know, special emotion to know that, like we've mentioned there, that she's gone through such a terrible ordeal and, do you know what I mean, still do what she loves best. It's absolutely incredible. I recommend the match. Like I said, it's in the description, guys. Go check it out. And I mean, sorry, I wanted to get that one out of the way.
No, definitely. That's important. Yeah.
Before we move on, we got a couple comments from Wam Breezy here. Welcome in, sir. Eddie Guerrero winning the WWE title after defeating his demons. Yeah, that's one that I considered putting on my 5. Yeah, definitely a great moment for sure.
Absolutely. Wam Breezy, by the way, was obviously on the show. Just gone. He was incredible guy. Do you know what I mean? Go check him out. He does some interviews like I do, and he's a great guy.
Excellent. Michael Oku defeating Will Ospreay.
That was Rev Pro, if I remember rightly.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the one right before All In, right?
It was.
Yep.
That was a great match and stuff like that. Right. I've number 6, I think we're up to now.
Yeah. And this one, we got a couple of different ones here. And I got to see if, is this the first one or the second one? I can't tell by just looking at it. It is the
first one.
Is that the one from this year or last year?
Last year. No,
last year. That's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and the first time that these two main evented Mania, everybody was emotionally invested in Cody winning, and then he didn't win.
Yes.
And the internet exploded. Everybody was so upset, angry, sad. Cody Rhodes was laying in the ring defeated, and a rubber chicken was laying next to him. I mean, this was like this was a big moment.
Yeah, for me, the Rumble that year was New Hope. This was Empire Strike Back, you know. But was it? And this year was obviously the Return of the Jedi.
This was Empire Strikes Back. That's pretty apropos, Haney.
Yeah,
it is.
But was it? And if you know Cody, what was it? And you've read about what Cody's into with a comparison, I think. You know, what was it? Because he's huge, like. But what was it? It's. Sometimes the good guy shouldn't win. You know. What was it? Sometimes and people now have got so much impatience, you know,
Yeah.
What was it? And things. They want things now. They're already saying like Cody's runs too long, right? It's like give me a grip, get a grip. You know what was it called? I mean, Braun Strowman has been the greatest Royal Rumble winner for 2,366 days. You know, he's never defended that belt once.
That damn green belt. He just never
Yeah.
brings it to shows anymore, so he doesn't have to defend it.
Oh, dear. Right, I don't mean to interrupt, guys, but we've got EVP Joe backstage. I'm sure he's got something to get off his chest. What's up, dude?
EVP, what's up,
Yeah,
homie?
what's up? So it took me a minute to get on. Are we still on Cody and Roman?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we are. The first
Okay.
one. Yeah.
So the anger that I felt out of this match, honestly, or I already said it, the emotion is anger because this led to another year of Roman Reigns doing shit nothing with the belt. That was like we literally got this match, which was the perfect ending to the story, just to sit there and have to go through and for a year of Roman doing nothing. Literally
angry.
nothing.
But you were angry and it invoked an emotion that you wouldn't have had. You got a whole year of being pissed off. You know.
No,
Now you know
honestly,
what
you know what?
now
I
you know what
really
it's like to
didn't
live as a
because
Scotsman the whole entire life. I mean, we're born pissed off. You just got 1 year of it.
I think Haiti was born when he popped out. He said, "There's going to be a team in the future. They're called the Young Bucks. Fuck them."
Sorry, please continue, Joe.
no, like I just wanted to say, like it was like annoying because like it was literally just a swerve for the sake of a swerve, and it was the same ending to a match that we've had for 3 years.
Yeah, it was.
And like I
yeah.
said earlier,
It was.
and Cody still can't get away from the fucking bloodline. Like, come on now, like there are other people on SmackDown who could, wrestle for the top belt.
Yeah.
Go do this. Please go do the Bloodline Civil War that everybody wants to see. Give us a year break from the Bloodline involved with the title. Because once again,
Yeah.
absence makes the heart grow fonder. And you know what? You can't grow fond of the Bloodline or anyone if they're constantly in the main event.
I think some of the situation with the bloodline, though, it was for me, and you summed up with the Civil War thing. Solo's a bit of a sacrificial lamb. He's going nowhere. That's why they put him in that position, because we all know that WrestleMania is going to be Rock versus Roman, right? We're leading into Survivor Series now. No doubt Rock will be in the first edition of SmackDown next week on USA or whatever it's moving to, so that's going to kick off that's going to kick off the Survivor Series storyline,
Speaking of SmackDown, that's pathetic because Cody doesn't even take Solo as a credible threat. He said, "No, I want Jacob Fatu," and Jake was like, "Nah, you can have Solo." Like, what?
It's Solo main event at SummerSlam, which was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, I was so.
I love coming away from an event where you've got negative emotion. Like Clash of the Castle. Everybody was like pissed that Drew lost, but it was perfect. You're right. It's what had to happen because
Until he did that sing along.
Sorry.
Until he did that sing along.
Tyson Fury. Yeah.
He has said that that was his worst moment ever. It was singing along with Tyson Fury.
I saw that.
Yeah, what was it called? But look where that led. Look where that led for. What was it for? Like Gunther, I mean, he's next level now. What was it called? And sometimes it's necessary. But was it? I get what you're sort of saying with the Roman situation. Like for the 2 years previous, it was the same. But I think for the first year with Cody, it was the right thing to do. But obviously, you're looking from the bigger picture. We've done this the last 2 years, But it just felt right. What was it? And then, to be honest, I was getting what was it? I sort of was like, yeah, it's going to happen this year. What was it with Cody? But there was a little bit of time where I was thinking, The Rock's going to come in and piss me off, isn't he? He's going to just ruin it, and he's just going to put his thing away. And I think what was it? The whole documentary things it is a sort of whitewash over the whole situation. You know, I think what was it? What was it? The Rock was pissed that he lost that spot, 100%. You know, because that's what he wanted to do.
And then I saw, and I gave Cody my spot.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
he only got the spot because all the fans backlash.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new speculation of that conversation between Rock and Cody when The Rock handed Cody something in the ring?
No, I
You know what everyone's saying. Now everyone's saying it's the number 30 entrant ball to the Royal Rumble, saying that he's going to be the 30th entrant and win, and he's going to see him at Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they still haven't revealed what he gave him yet. So, yeah. Long-term storytelling.
I actually think it was the head of a limited edition Funko. But I don't know. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
It's the keys to your brand new truck. But wait, let me get my social media guy here to film it first.
Yeah. The line is quite interesting. Never break my heart again. You know, what was it? You know, what was it called? I will break your toys if you break mine. You know, when I first met Cody, it was in Glasgow, and he was with Teddy Hart, and somebody says, what was it? Somebody basically asked like Teddy, "What's it like to work with Cody?" And he basically says he's a weird guy. I mean, he brings action figures to work, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Did Teddy Hart try to sell you a cat?
You know, what was it? The scary thing? The scary thing about Teddy Hart. That's probably how he's smuggling his drugs across the border as well, as the cats. I will not elaborate where the drugs are right now.
He told a story on a podcast a long time ago about going to strip clubs and selling cats.
Yes.
Sorry? What?
Yeah.
Are we sure he's talking about real cats, or is that a pseudonym for something else?
I didn't know if that was some kind of like code word or something, but yeah, he said he would take kittens to a strip club with him, and he would sell the kittens in the parking lot of the strip club.
There's two people. There's two people that give me that vibe. It is obviously Teddy Hart. You know that's what. There's an alternative thing, and the other person who I absolutely loved as a kid. But it's Corey Feldman. There's just something really wrong with that man, you know.
I can't figure out if Corey Feldman is really just secretly trolling everybody, or if he's like really fucked up. I can't tell. I'm kind of torn between the two.
He was a child actor, so he's probably really tore up inside. So
yeah,
but like the music and everything, opening for Limp Bizkit, obviously looking and sounding terrible. Like I kind of get troll vibes from it.
Yeah.
Like I kind of wonder if he's just doing this tongue in cheek. I don't know.
What was it? What was it? Dave Grohl actually imitated it at a concert. We was doing a sort of solo after the Corey Feldman thing, and then the camera pans and it's Wolfgang on like was it Hale and Son? You know, he's in the corner going, and he's went.
All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off. If you bring up another match I want to talk about, I'll jump back on.
Cool, Joe. Thank you.
I mean, we're an hour and 3. I'm thinking, do we do this as a 2-part? Because it's just, we get so much emotion at the first 5 that we've got another 5, but we're at an hour already. I don't know what to do.
Go for it.
We can do that if you want. Yeah, it's up to you. I'm good with it if you are.
It's entirely, you know what, Mr. Isaacs, what's best for you? I mean, I'm happy to do either. I'm going to let you obviously choose on this one.
Can you do another one and then do 12?
I mean, we've got like half the list left, right?
Yeah.
Let's just do a part 2 since we're already like over an hour at this point.
Yeah, that's fine. We're more than happy to do a part 2. Like I said, I mean, there's still 5 big matches, 2 UK ones. I might switch one of the UK ones out. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we spent so much time putting emotion into these that we've literally lost track of time.
Hey, it's all good. Yeah, we can split it up. That's totally cool.
That's
But
fine. So
you-
yeah,
You're always going to get that when you talk about emotion stuff, because
Mhm.
what was it? Like wrestling invokes so much emotion in people. But was it? But was it? Good, bad, and different.
Yeah,
What
for
was
sure.
and it plays it sort of plays a big part on. But was it? Obviously the fandom and how they love things, and and how they feel about wrestlers down the line, and like stuff that happens,
Mhm.
and then how perspectives change, and it's just that was it. It's just a whirlwind,
yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, we've an hour and 5. We've got a part 2 obviously for next week. We've got 5 more matches which we've not talked about. As I say, I might switch one of the UK ones out and throw thingy, but yeah,
yes,
like I said, it's been so much fun. Do you know what I mean? So much emotions and things and stuff like that. But like, as I mentioned there earlier on, if you want to see the Hannah Taylor one, it's definitely in the description. I recommend go checking it
Yeah.
out. Do you know what I mean?
But
I'm
Knowing
gonna check
the-
it out. Yeah.
well, why not? We both watch that match and we talk about it next week as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
know-
a good idea. We can do that.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, it's easy to find, guys. All in the description and stuff. So, Mr. Alex, I do believe there's an After Dark for All Out.
Yes. Tonight, we're all going to be watching All Out. And after the show is over, we're going to do a special edition of The Garage where we are covering All Out and giving it our review. So be sure to check into the channel later this evening. And we're going to be discussing All Out as soon as the show ends.
What exactly will be All Out?
Well, this is YouTube, so we have to kind of be careful, but it's probably going to be close to midnight. If Shane's coming on, if he makes a guest appearance, his nipples are going to be all out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want it turning into anything like Red Diaries or something like that, from the 90s, because that was just.
I don't intend to flop anything I have out or anything like that. I can't speak for Canada Dry. Depends on how much ginger ale he drinks, I guess.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, if you're going to be doing one of the dick measuring competitions, you really need to be doing that after midnight.
After 9 o'clock to be exact.
uh,
Oh dear. So, if you guys obviously want to support the show, you can see the QR code on screen. Simply scan it. That will take you to our link tree. That's got all our socials: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that type of stuff. It's also got the link to the Hot Tag Foundation. Like I said, go check the guys out. Just interact with their stuff. All the information is absolutely there. And yeah, I mean, that's all from me. One final thing, Mr. Isaacs, you know what to do. You do it every single week. See us out to the outro.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet since I'm going to be coming on back in a few hours to do a whole bunch more talking for my already weakened voice. But guys, we all have to support each other, which I know we're going to do. We're entering into the fall now, and we got to do everything we can to fight off seasonal depression. It's going to be coming in a couple of months, and reach out for a helping hand. Talk to us. We're all here for each other. We're all behind you. We are going to be the pillars holding you up and keeping you stable. And I will see you guys later this evening, but put your fist up in the air and just remember, always just keep fighting.